Today, I'm teaching an Emerald player how to analyze his matchup, play more aggressive, be more assertive, and make better decisions. This video is quite long, but it's filled with a ton of useful information that you probably didn't know. And you get all of this information for free, so let's get started. Let's see before we look at the VOD, like, what do you think you're struggling with, right? Like, do you think your early game could use work, mid game, late game, what do you think?
I think I struggle in the mid game, especially if I'm like behind. Mid game, I'm like lost. I don't know what to do. I can just keep farming, but I'm gonna lose every objective. So maybe I need to be more patient in mid game. Otherwise, early game should be fine. But we're gonna see how I play the early game.
Do you think about matchups at all in loading screen?
Yeah, I think about the matchup before in the loading screen. Usually.
What do you think here? What are your thought? What's your thought process when looking at this matchup?
I think I'm gonna play aggressive and abuse the Vayne because I have more range than her, and I can just spam my W on Vayne and get her as low as I can. And maybe if Trash is human and can get some hooks, we can kill the Vayne. That's what I said in the loading screen.
So you outrange, you try to poke, and you are ready to just follow up if Trash engages, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about the summoner spells in this case?
I took Exhaust mostly because Vayne and Rengar. I was like, if Vayne or Rengar got fed, maybe the Exhaust can help me.
I mean, yeah, that's thinking like of mid-late game, sure, but what do you think about your summoner spells and enemies' summoner spells in the early game?
I think my Exhaust is very useful than just Ghost.
Exactly, right. So you know you have Ignite, which means the heal is not that affected, the heal they have. Especially if they heal late after the Ignite, which usually happens, especially in Emerald. And Ghost is kind of useless early.
Early game Ghost is pretty useless, yes.
And because they have Enchanter, it means they only have one damage source, which is Vayne. So Exhaust is even more valuable here. Yeah. Which means, you know, you hit level 6 maybe and you can go crazy. You have Summoner advantage, you have a CC from Thresh, right? And now let's try to think about what they have to stop you and what you have to stop them. Like, what are your strongest points and what are the enemy's strongest points here?
The milieu ball thing. I have to avoid his, I don't know what his spell is, but he can push me with
the ball, and that pushes you.
Yeah, the ball.
What about Vayne?
Vayne, she can push me with the E.
Okay.
But,
so they can just push you, right? That's
just push me, yeah.
And what about you?
I can slow them.
You can slow them, right? You can exhaust.
Slow them.
You can ult, right?
Yeah, and she doesn't have the cleanse too.
Yeah, she does have cleanse, which is huge. Like, I always say this, you should take cleanse because, you know, if she gets hooked early game, right? You have your ult, you have your slows, you have your hook, you have your flay. There's 4 things they need to watch out for. They only have like 2 disengage tools, right? It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So that means, again, you should play aggressive, you should poke with W, and you should follow up Thresh engage, just like you said. Like, if your goal is to go aggressive, right? And you know you're stronger. We need to play accordingly, right? So here, for example, right? What's keeping you from using W instantly?
I was kind of afraid of missing like 1 CS, because usually with Ashe, I always miss 1 CS in the beginning from the tree.
How does it happen?
Because I think I struggle with Ashe CS because she doesn't deal that much of damage in the game.
Well, I mean, every ADC pretty much deals the same damage, level 1 on basic attacks, unless you play Dragon, of course. But for example, with Ashe, right, you at least have your Q basic attack reset in case you need it, and your W, which is AoE, which is great.
Yeah.
And here I would say, look, if you W the wave right now, right, there's 2 low HP minions that would die, and then the third one you are not sure, right?
Yeah.
So I would say here you should W. First of all, because you hit Vayne, right? You get a bit closer to W instantly. You hit her because she's gonna basic attack. No way she doesn't basic attack the minion right here, right?
Yeah.
So you hit a W, the first 2 minions die from W, and then you just basic attack the third. And you grab the whole wave, you poke as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's, you know, we just started the lane and already got them. And you had the intention to basic attack this, then W, right? But what stopped you from doing it the opposite way, you know?
Yeah, I see.
And again, like if you looked, we analyzed the loading screen, And with this, we know that we are stronger. So we should always, when we are stronger, try to zone out the enemies, try to go crazy aggressive. And try to zone out like this, you see? Like you're doing right now, but try to do it as early as possible so they just feel the pressure.
I think you have to find like the medium between playing aggressive and not missing CS. Because mostly when I play aggressive, I kind of miss CS while trying to touch the vein.
Yeah, that's understandable.
You see.
But it's of course it's nice to just grab every single CS for sure. Okay. But for example, here you basic attack, which is good, and right now there's not really much stopping you from getting closer to them, right?
Yeah.
But like if you get closer, just a bit closer, right? What do you think they can do to you? Nothing.
Nothing much, yeah.
Like nothing.
Maybe some auto attacks, but that's
but
not
if they auto attack teams, you are in basic attack range for sure. So no way they step into your basic attack range, right? And if you do that, we push them back. They feel the pressure. They start losing minions. They start panicking. They start making mistakes, right? That's what we want to do here.
Yeah.
And we never want to step back like this. You see, we are just giving them space.
Yeah, the free
to farm for no reason, right? Because right now, if you just right-click them and you go with trash, you just win. Because we know we have some advantage and everything. So we need to play aggressive accordingly. If we decided we are going to.
And I thought I was playing aggressive this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I see you wanna do it, you wanna go crazy, aggressive, but you're just allowing them to farm, right?
To farm.
And even if you don't wanna hit them, you just wanna hit the minions. Being a bit more forward still puts mental pressure on them, right?
Okay.
Because you're here in position to W, maybe, not just basic attack.
Yeah, I see it.
And again, like this W, like if you said you want to pressure and play aggressive, you'd better make sure the W's land on them, right?
Yeah.
Because, farming the minions here, you didn't really need to W them. Like this was fine. You just basic attack this one, then basic that one, move close, you just W, right? And also this, I wanted to mention this. If you want to play aggressively, you'd better make sure you play for the level 2 advantage, right?
Yeah.
Because that's just a way to get their flash early game. And here, we just know that after using this W, this minion dies, this caster dies, and we're level 2. So, as a rule, if you want to play aggressive and make like use of the level 2 advantage, you need to start stepping up before you get level 2, right? So if there's like 1 or 2 minions low HP about to die and they get to level 2, you basic attack them once, you walk up, basic attack the other one once, you walk up, and you're level 2 in their face. Compared to reaching level 2 here, and you're just miles away, right?
Yeah.
You see? Because imagine you were closer. You maybe would have slowed them, then Thresh could hook or something, but now it's like you're so far away you can't do anything, right? And yeah, this is why nothing really happens from the level 2 anymore. And another thing about basic attacking, like 1-to-1, right? Like you did right now with this vein. So right now, if you... Thresh has no hook. We needed to talk about those, like, even if you play aggressive, you gotta remember that if your support uses an ability like the hook, it means enemies don't feel pressure anymore. The hook is on cooldown, right? And that means we should chill for a little bit. Here, if you start basic attacking the Vayne, Vayne hits you back. She has melee shield, so you just lose the trade right away. And then it's like Thresh can't really even help you because his hook is on cooldown, right? Yeah. So what I would say, even if you don't care about hook cooldown or whatever, we are going for basic attacks. especially if they have an enchanter that buffs basic attacks, and you don't win the 1-for-1 basic attack because you're not Raven. You want to do this when they need to hit a minion, right? Because right now they have no reason to hit the wave. Absolutely no reason to. So of course they're going to hit you, right?
Yeah.
So you want to wait for the moment when your minions are low HP and Vayne steps up towards the minion. Then you can basic attack for free. And at that moment, if she basic attacks you back, even though you lose maybe a bit more HP, it's like she lost a minion. That's a win, right? It's still way better than basic attacking now for no reason, right? At least you make her choose between minion and hitting you.
And attacking me, yeah.
And now Thresh has hook. He walks up. You'd better walk up as well. Very good. Oh, you back off? How come?
Well, she had the shield, I think, and the
Okay.
Thresh was between minions.
But why do you like? I really believe. Okay. Do you see now why backing off is bad?
Because they don't have the ability to push me.
Because they use the ability, right? Milo used Q. And in loading screen, we said they have the Milo Q and Vayne E. That's all they have to stop you.
Yeah.
And level 2 Vayne doesn't have E. Milo used Q. They have nothing, right? So what's stopping you from W basic attack, Q basic reset? And oh my god, she's half HP. They can't stop you. Thresh might flash hook, who knows, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But instead we back off and now our Q goes on cooldown. Right? And even now, look. Go, right? You go. We back off. Why? You see this?
Yeah.
And
now Trish don't have hook. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, but it's like even if he lands the hook at that point, you're too far away. You can't help him, right?
Yeah.
So what I would say for your biggest tip in laning phase, from what I'm seeing, is in loading screen again, analyze the abilities they have and the abilities you have. And when enemy abilities are on cooldown, the important ones, you can go crazy. It's never bad to go in, right? Maybe there are some small exceptions to that rule, but generally, if you apply that, you're never gonna lose. And what you want is consistency and good habits, right?
Yeah.
And if something works 99% of the time, you don't care if it fails 1% of the time. Who cares? It works the other 99%, right?
Yep.
And right now, after getting this last minion, we need to talk about another important aspect, which is actually, let me ask you, what do you think could happen here if you try to find the jungler, right?
The jungler.
So, as a rule, in bot lane, you can't really cross this river line, the middle point, right? You can't go like further than the edge of this wall unless you have some kind of vision set up. And the deeper the vision is, the further you can play into their turret, right?
Yeah.
And so right now, imagine the enemy jungler. I don't even know what the enemy jungler is. Doesn't matter. Imagine he's in the river brush right here, and you basically attack the Vayne right here. What do you think happens?
We're gonna probably die.
You're gonna get your flash out. You're gonna die. It's bad.
Yeah.
And when you don't know where the enemy jungler is, you play like he's in the closest brush to you. That's how you should play, right? Because it means you're consistent. You're never gonna die to ganks. And you're always going to finish lane at least even. And another thing about jungle tracking is, like you don't need vision if you know exactly where the jungler is, right? So let's say you know the jungler started bot.
He's going to be top lane. Yeah, that's what I said.
That's like semi-reliable, right? But
it's not really.
There's plenty of junglers that do 3 camps, the bot camps, and they just gank from the river, right?
Yeah, it happened to me like 4 times.
Exactly. And if we recognize that the same thing happens over and over, we need to learn from it and not make the same mistake again, right? Because right now, if you go to ward, try bush, Thresh towards the river a bit deeper, it's like you don't really lose minions because they're all full HP, right?
Yes.
So you have plenty of time to just ward right now. Because even though you might be tempted to get a kill again, imagine the jungler is right behind you. It's never a good option to go for the kill. if you don't know where the jungler is. Okay, here we're finally playing aggressive.
I was playing aggressive only for the cannon. Maybe I should play aggressive on every single minion.
For the most part, yeah, like if you know you're stronger, your enemy like is not supposed to farm. It's not allowed to get close to the wave at all, right?
Yeah, okay.
There's no reason to let them farm if you know you can win by simply right-clicking. And okay, they used heal. You saw that they used heal, so you can flash basic, that's fine. But another thing I want to say, here Thresh walks up, right?
Yeah.
And even though he's walking up, you back off again. You click backwards, right?
Yeah.
Why, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's no reason, right? So,
there's no reason.
like, it's cool that you play Ashe, because Ashe is, even though she's immobile, she makes the enemies immobile too. So it's like, you can play aggressive. You have the higher range. You can go crazy. And this is why you should never be like scared in this kind of lanes where you have like multiple tools to kill them and they have like none, right? So in this kind of situations, just try to stay in their face as much as possible, because you're just gonna win. But yeah, like even though we got a kill, right? I hope you see how we could have denied them way more minions. We might have been able to kill them earlier and so on. But instead we just didn't take those opportunities and we let them like kind of thrive in this lane for so long, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of got lucky that we killed them because they inted.
Yes.
And again, imagine Rengar was trying to gank you. You would have never killed them ever, like, you know. It's all these things that add up on top of each other, and a lot of the games you would be like, oh, this game we got a kill on Vayne, like we did great, we are doing so well, right? We are playing perfectly. But actually, when you break it down like this, you already saw so many mistakes, right?
Yes, that's the point why I choose this game. I decided to back because I was like, it was a cannon wave, so maybe I can reach it back under the tower. That's what I said in my head.
Okay, but this is like an actual perfect example of playing around your teammates and playing around tempo, right? Again, we know we are stronger. We know we can play aggressive, right? So it's like when we kill Vayne here, okay, we take this plate. Why don't we back off here and we don't kill this wave? We let the wave stay where it is. When you're back to lane, you're coming back and the wave is pushing into you, you don't lose anything, right? Because Vayne is just respawned, so you don't lose anything, right? We need to look at this opportunity as well to back off here. That would be a good option, even though it might seem counterintuitive. But another reason why, even though you stay for this, right, you don't want to back off after, it's because you see Viego.
Yeah, the Viego was put.
Yeah, you see how he's coming towards you, and you see an enemy jungler, stop. So it's like, so what if they have like 20 more attack damage than you? You have a whole champion above them right now, right? Yeah. So here we could just fake recall and ping Viego to just help, because there's no jungle camps for him to get. And so he will run straight bot if you ping on top of him asking for assistance. It's impossible, he won't, right?
Yeah.
And Vayne has no flash. You also ping in the chat, you should spam ping the Vayne flash. And if possible, type to him that she's got no flash and he should come right now. Because again, playing tempo and playing with your teammates takes priority over kind of anything, right? And now we did this. Look, he was coming bot, you see. But yeah, generally, you know, again, it's good to recall a cannon wave because you don't lose much still. It's great, right? Right now we are lucky that enemies are just overextended for this without vision. But right now we are in this awkward spot where...
Yeah.
Well, do I help or do I don't? Because look at the way,
right? Should I help? Should I farm? Yeah, that's
right. Yeah. But the thing about these situations is that you know, you can prevent them, right?
I was pinging to back because I had to farm it, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
That's
here,
nice.
you know, we get displayed. Boom, we recall. Right? I want
Okay.
you, like, in the future to consider this as an option because it's so powerful to just recall when the wave is still on their side, right? Because if the wave is on their side, they push towards you slowly. And for sure, you wouldn't have lost anything here because Mirror cannot push this alone. And the next wave is cannon, so it's like the cannon waves meet in the middle or close to your turret. It doesn't matter, you don't lose anything.
Okay.
And even if you decide to stay like this, there is still the option of, you know, hey, we have our jungler and we jungle top. Why not do something here? I'm curious what happens here to you. You should probably just stay to get the wave, or at least get the melees and try to kite towards them by now. That's what happens, good. Well, here was a small mechanical mistake, I guess.
I had to use my W first.
I mean, you first of all, you attacked the Emilio, happens, right?
Yeah.
W was unlucky, it is what it is. Maybe you could have tried to exhaust, but yeah, oh well, happens.
Yeah. Unlucky.
Again, this would have never happened if we just played properly in the first place. And another thing would be to just like try to move closer before attacking here, right? Like your priority is to get in their way first, then basic attack. So you walk straight down, then you right click, not right click, because right clicking right away makes you go up a little bit. But this is like small mechanical things. We don't need to focus on that. Like, okay. Again, the reason why Yumi players can get challenger is because of their game knowledge. Okay. So, about wave management now. What do you think you should do with the next wave and why?
Normally, if I was thinking straight, I think since the Vayne needs her back, I need to fast push the wave.
Okay.
So she can lose some of the minions under tower. And anyways, I can't really freeze it because I have a big wave.
Yeah, it's like either shove or slow push. But what another reason why the shove is good? Do you know it? Can you recognize it?
No.
Look at the map.
Because I can move, yeah.
The map tells you how to play the game, right?
Yeah.
So what does the map tell us right now?
Mid laner is missing and there's a Drake to do.
Okay. And what else? Looking at our allies, right?
Viego is bot lane.
Exactly. So if Viego's bot lane, you have a huge ass wave to crash. What does that mean? Right?
The Vayne needs to stay and farm it.
Yeah, otherwise she loses the whole wave, or like she has to go help a team fight if it happens. And right now, where do you think that team fight could happen?
On Drake.
There you go. So we shove this, we get Drake. If you do that, Vayne is exactly
in my
position,
situation.
Right? It's exactly this position, but it's on their side. So that's what you want. You want to put enemies into this lose-lose position, right? And that's the goal even in early game trades, where it's like you only trade when you have low HP minions on your side. So they have to choose between minion and trading with you. And in this case, they have to choose between minions and going to the fight, right? That's the goal in League. That's the easiest way to get an advantage. Put the enemy in a lose-lose situation. And these are just two examples. Another example would be in mid-game, where it's like if there's an objective and there's a 5v5 on the objective if you go, compared to not going to the objective and pushing a lane instead, right? That's another lose-lose situation for the enemies, because if they go 5-man Drake, they win the fight, they get the Drake, but they lose the base. And instead, if they send somebody to defend, they could lose the 1v1 to defend, and they could lose the 4v5 fight, right?
Yeah.
So there's another one of those situations. But yeah, I don't think you pushed this instantly. What happened here? Or did you? I kind of took your time. Use W fast. No. Okay. Yeah, you took your sweet time. And another important thing about playing League, and again, playing with your teammates, because teammates, a lot of people think they're not human. They can be human. What the hell? How they play so bad? But in reality, it's like, imagine in this game you were assertive. You were spam pinging, push this. Thresh would have helped you. You were spam pinging the Drake. Viego would have started it by now after getting roam, right? So it's like if you're assertive, if you know you are improving, if you know you are better than your allies and you deserve a better elo, then you'd better shot call and make the right decisions, right? And ping your teammates, because teammates usually listen to pings, right? Especially if you make these good decisions where here it's like if you ping shove the wave and you ping Viego for Drake, right? And you do that, you get Drake, everything is fine. The next time you ping, they're automatically going to listen to you because they know what they see that they know what you're doing, right? So of course they're gonna follow your calls from now. And I honestly believe that being assertive is so underrated. It's so OP.
Yeah, pings are very important in League. I agree.
But right now, because we didn't do that, we are, instead of making that super good play, we are starting to make a mistake. It's even worse than nothing. And I wonder if you can recognize why this is worse than nothing.
Where Sundin and Mayberengar is bot lane? Because we saw him mid.
We are breaking the rule we set before, right? Yeah. We are going past the river line with a control ward and 2 trinkets in our inventory. Right? We legit are playing blind right now. And if Rengar comes from behind, it's like, oh, you're probably dead. Right? And these are the things we need to constantly think about, right? We need the discipline. And I know it might feel overwhelming at the start, but you only need to learn one thing at a time, because the mistake you made right now is the mistake you made like 3 minutes ago. So it's like one mistake is being made multiple times a game. So if you fix one mistake at a time, this week you fix this, these next 3 weeks you fix that mistake, then they become good habits. Suddenly you fix 3 mistakes and per game you're making like 10 mistakes less. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And right now you're backing off because you're like, I don't know, I'm not sure what to do here. I don't know where Rengar is. Like, right now you're playing the game, but not playing the game. Like, you don't understand the game right now, right? That's what's happening here.
Yes.
And that's what we need to try to practice and learn. Because right now, if you knew exactly all these rules, you would just know exactly what to do. Just ward. So I don't know if you know, but in aviation, they basically have checklists. So for the takeoff, they have a checklist that they have to do, and they have to make sure every step is completed before they can do the takeoff. And in your case, for you to play aggressive and hit turret, we need to go over the checklist. Oh, we need to place that vision there. We need to look where our jungle is, and so on, right? So that might be a way to just never make these mistakes again. You just have a mental checklist of, okay, do I want to right click the turret? What does that mean? Oh, I need deep vision here, and so on, right? And that's how you never make these mistakes again. Because here I'm predicting that you're getting ganked or something. Like, no way you don't. And yeah, luckily you're playing Ashe, sure, but still, it's like the hawkshot is not going to reveal everything. You never know where the jungles are going to gank from. Yeah, Rengar is topside, you're lucky. It's good enough. But yeah, you see like already how slow we are with everything. And instead of being more aggressive and pressuring the enemy constantly this game and getting drakes, stacking them early when we have so much prio bot, we are instead just letting Vayne farm for basically free, right? We're letting them scale, because enchanters scale really well, right? So when you press tab, I'm curious to see the farm difference, because it's probably not that much, not that large. And yeah, again, besides missing minions because we rush, right? We are not stepping up. Again, we're not stepping up. We saw Rengar mid, we are not stepping up. We have Viego bot, we are not stepping up, right? That's what we need to do. There you go. See, you basic attack there. Perfect. That's what we need. Right? And look, she's trying to hit the cannon. There you go. Hit, go. That's what we want the whole lane. You see? I think this is the first time you actually do this. And look, the results are amazing, right? But imagine you did this the whole game. They would tilt. Vayne would freaking run it down mid. It happens. Right? People do that. Just because, right? They make so many mistakes, and if you punish them for the mistakes they're making, wow, it's incredible, the difference, right? And yeah, again, we make the same mistake. We have no vision, we hit turret, right?
Yep.
He doing Drake, and
You are
I'm not even
helping
trying
him.
to scout out for him, because Rengar might ult him and kill him, right? But yeah, this is why in games like below high challenger, right? Even low challenge GM doesn't matter. Like, mistakes are being made constantly, and the difference between this game and a challenger game is the fact that there's less mistakes made in the challenger game, right? But mistakes still happen, and in low elo is cool that there's so many mistakes that if yourself don't make these silly mistakes that everybody else does, you're just gonna win like every game because it's crazy. And for example, here, right, we were talking about loading screen strengths and weaknesses again. And what do they have here to stop you? A condemned and a Emilio Q, right? What do you have to stop them? Your ult, your exhaust, your flash, your slow, trash hook, trash E. Go time. Basic, go. What's stopping you, right? Right?
Maybe the big wave scared me, I think.
Big wave, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I'm level 6, yeah.
Level 6, who cares?
Yep.
And if anything, you ult, you step in brush to reset vision from minions so they don't hit you, and then keep going. Right? And you might be like, oh, Milo has ult. Well, so what? His ult is lower cooldown, higher cooldown than your ult, so it's always worth it to ult here. And if you ult Vayne right now, she dodges, your ult hits Milio. That's good, right? And if you are afraid that there's too many minions, just hit them, clear them a bit, right?
Okay.
Instead, we are, again, we are unsure, right? There's so many uncertainties, we are not sure what to do. But instead, if you go into a game with a game plan, we know exactly what we're doing. And here, like, why are we afraid, right? Why are we even afraid there? You know? You win that, for sure.
Yeah.
You win that fight. Like, what? There's no way.
Maybe the ghost, I don't know.
Oh no, she ghosted. Anyway. It's like, I'll give you a small tip against Milio, for example. If you ult the Vayne right here in the face, because she pressed Q already, so she cannot dodge it.
Yeah.
You ult her, Milio ults, right? Then you exhaust. Now what? They can't do anything to you, right?
Yeah.
That's like useful tip to know.
And she used her condemn.
And if you are also afraid of the Vayne condemn, for example, right? Because in this position, let me skip back a few frames. Come on, YouTube. Also about the weaknesses and strengths. Let's say they have a Seraph and you have Cleanse. The Seraph E doesn't exist because you have Cleanse. And in this position, Vayne has Condemn, but you have Flash. So if you are in this position and she's like getting ready to condemn you, what you can do is just flash in front of her. And the condemn basically doesn't happen, right? Because the damage doesn't matter. So, you know, this is why, in my opinion, going into the game with a plan from loading screen is so important, because you know exactly what to do. You never have to think about what to do. You just do it because you know it's always good. And about Rengar being here, right? It's like, imagine we set up vision earlier when we had a chance and we were taking these fights where it was free, right? After making multiple mistakes in a row, they start to add up, and what happens is this is what happens, right? But if you don't make those first mistakes in the first place, this never happens, you know?
Okay.
So it's like we can make 5 mistakes, but don't make the 6th. It's still fine, right? And this is why, if you have good discipline and consistency in this, like Emerald, Platinum, Diamond, doesn't matter. Enemies make those 5 mistakes every game. But it's like all you need to do to win is make 4 mistakes, not 5, and you win. You know? So it's like you don't even have to play perfectly in your climbing to master, right?
Yeah. I see.
So this is why, like, you should never feel discouraged about climbing. And a lot of people feel discouraged because they're like, oh man, I need to play perfectly. right? But it's not
I
true.
just have to
And
do like less mistakes than the enemy team.
an enemy, exactly. Like if a team makes 30 mistakes in a game and your team makes 29, you win. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And again about laning and wave management here.
Yeah.
Why do we record here?
I have no idea. Why did I call?
Right, like
Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah.
because can you see why? Like there's honestly like one good reason, only one. There's multiple, but the best reason and super obvious. You should see it right away.
My wave is bigger than the.
Yeah, of course. So it's like they have.
And
You're
there's
gonna
a
lose a
cannon.
lot. There's a cannon. You're gonna lose a lot, right? But besides that, that's the reason. We see the reason here, right?
Okay. Rengar is not you.
Rengar is like 300 HP. He ulted. Great. Which means, in this position, like if Vayne and Millie are here, like who's gonna stop you from pushing the wave? Nobody, right?
Yeah.
Nothing that can stop you right now from pushing it. So you might be, I have no mana. Well, so what? You basic attacks, W's, boots, attacks, you're stronger, you have Thresh Hook, they have nothing. Again, right? And so we lose the whole Webcam wave, and by the time we are back, we lose more from the second wave, and it's just... Wait, did you press tab at any point right now? Up. Up, skip. Go back.
It was like a...
Boom. Farm difference, 60 to 74, right? This could have been 40 to 70, right?
Yeah.
Easily. And you could have had like 5 kills by now, even more. Right? And all you had to do is 2 things. If I want to push, I get vision. And the second thing, I know I'm stronger. Milo uses Q, we go in. 2 things you could have corrected to prevent like 6 mistakes this game and totally dominate and miss FF, right? And you only had to do 2 simple things, right? This is the power of fixing these huge mistakes, and mechanics and whatnot. Those don't matter. The champion who played it, those don't matter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, let's pause right here. What do you think the state of the game right now is? What do you think you should be doing here? We pause the game right now and we look at the map. What do you think we should do here?
Since my trash is mid lane, I should play safe.
Yeah, because...
I try to freeze the wave if I can. Probably I can't. They won't let me freeze.
Yeah.
But I will just try to farm and survive.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing crazy.
Because right now we are one versus 2, right? And this like counting enemies and allies will come in handy, especially in the mid-late game. And you can start playing it from early game, especially when support start roaming. You're 1v2. Of course, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Of course, I'm not going to walk up right now and potentially get ult queued by the Vayne. And you're definitely in the range.
Yeah.
It's just that enemies are making mistakes right now and they're not even trying to punish you. They are doing exactly what you're doing level 1, aka they're allowing you to
watching
breathe. They're allowing you to breathe for no reason, right?
Yeah. Okay. I see it.
You see? Like, look, why is Vayne not stepping up? Like, there is absolutely this. So, like, can she farm from where, like, from your next door minions, right? It's the same for her, but she punishes you as well, right?
Yeah.
You see how like enemies make huge mistakes as well, and this is why it's not that hard to climb actually, because there's so many mistakes happening right now, and you're poking here, and finally they punish you. Finally, right? Finally happened. Yeah, like even if enemies don't respect you, right, and they do mistakes and they let you do whatever, it's still not correct to do it, right? Because if you get too confident, it's exactly this situation where eventually they're gonna catch on. You gave them so many chances that eventually they're going to catch on, right?
Okay.
And even though enemies are bad, you don't want to make mistakes anyway, because if you get leads, like little by little leads, you make absolutely no mistakes. you eventually just have more resources than them. That's just how it is. Okay, here another like good mid-game practice is, you know, enemies are not here, your allies are fighting, right? So we need to do something to have pressure on the game, and in this case that would be pushing, because if you push you apply pressure, and what they're doing right now is good. You could have done this way sooner, of course, right? But it's gonna, after you get confident with the habits and with this kind of playing, you're going to do this kind of stuff instantly, and it's good that you did it eventually. Now back off because there's nobody else to help you. Good. What happened? He cancelled you?
I thought there was a ward or something. No, I was just walking.
This is a bit risky, but I'm not sure if you did or did not look at the map to see where trash is. If you look at the map,
I saw the trash coming.
Perfect, you're a genius then. This is good. Like if you're alone here, like you see Rengar, but Rengar going mid right now. It's like, you know, even if you're alone, you're actually not alone because there's trash next to you. This is good. This is perfect. And you ult, and he ults, but still it's worth it. And unfortunately, hook missed, but he still got flay, so he can go. I would have flashed probably, but
okay.
You've got the flay, they've got nothing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still fine. You played with trash here. It's okay. It's way better than earlier in the game when Drake was spawning and Viego was bot and you just recalled, right?
I think I did the same mistake. Viego is bot, Drake is spawning.
Yeah.
But I had too much gold.
Here you could argue that Ahri is pacing too, so you recall to match her tempo. Sure. It's like, in these kind of situations, it's sometimes hard to know what the correct play is. Sure, you could stay. Recalling is, well, kinda you hope that mid is as well like the same tempo as your Ahri and you get back to lane eventually, soon enough. But yeah, I would say when you wanted to recall here, right? This was correct. Good play. You want to recall here. But when this happens now and Drake is on the table and you're fighting and enemies are also HP and Viego is bot and Drake is up, well, now you could be like, okay, I wanted to recall initially, but as you mentioned, yeah, Viego is bot, same mistake, we could go Drake because we are stronger, they have no melee ult, you have exhaust, right? So yeah, definitely we could have went Drake for sure. Like maybe it's risky because Rengar is alive, sure. Like when you're unsure of some things, you know, being on the safe side usually is fine, but it's always good to limit test and experiment, and this is one of those moments, right?
Okay.
Because now,
I think
now when you can look at the situation, right? You're basically in the same situation as like 10 minutes ago, where you're under Terry with a wave and there's a fight happening there, right?
Yeah.
But you know, oh well, right? We learn from this. And this is why it's good to watch your replays all of the times, because you can recognize these mistakes eventually. I would say that if you stayed here from this point on, again, if Milo didn't cancel you, would have been fine. It would have been back to laning time. Milo canceled you. I think if you stayed and helped, I mean, considering Drake is super low, right? 300 HP, you'd have done that much damage, no problem in 10 seconds. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, you could have stayed for sure. That was the correct play. But it's good that you recognized it in the replay now, which is actually like really good, because the goal of this coaching session is to like help you recognize your own mistakes, so you can see when you're making them, and so you can see how you fix them, right? And here it's
basically a 3 versus 4. I didn't
Thresh
want to
is
fight.
coming, but this is, again, this would have never happened if we did a correct play in the first place, right? But
okay.
I mean, you don't have to be scared here. Have Ari next to you. Like, if anything, Rengar is gonna jump on the Ari and you kill Rengar. But, oh well. This is what it is. These things don't matter as much because they usually don't happen if you make the correct place in the first place. Okay. Video recalls. I think that's Vayne recalling, yes. I think Rengar was low. He doesn't have ult anyway. So you should push for sure. It should do. Perfect. But I hope you see my thought process, right? We see them recall. That guy is low. Okay. This is my thought process, right? This is how we think. And right now Rengar like ulting, go. Why not? Right? What is he doing here? The bot lane. Oh, never mind. Wait. This is what happens when I skip too much. They recall here at minute like 14. And how much? Let's see. Boom. She's in base 48. I skip 20 seconds. Well, 20 seconds is almost enough for them to be here. Yeah. You should definitely back off here. That's correct. I agree with this. Okay. This is just not much happening. Okay, now perfect. Okay, the map tells us, what does it tell us here?
Viego is hitting bot.
Yeah, Viego's bot. Ari pushed the wave. Look, she wants to path bot, right? So we kind of think it's a 4v4 situation here, in a way, right? So we need to play accordingly, like think about that. And right now, of course, there's a wave under our turret. We have to prio that. But once we get the wave, like we can start thinking about, oh, look, Ari's here. Vladimir is mid. Now it's a 4v3, right? Instantly go in. Instant trigger. You see Vladimir, you... actually, we should skip back a little. Throughout the game, especially when you're getting like above 10 minutes, 15 minutes, mid-game starts, throughout the game you're going to have like a mental count of your allies next to you and enemies next to you. And right now that count is like you are 2v3, wait, Viego's coming, now it's 3v3, wait, Vladimir is nowhere to be seen, Ari is coming, it's a 4v4, right? We still watch the map, we know it's 4v4, we have a wave, whatever. It's a 4v4, okay? We get this, we look at the map still. Oh, Vlad is mid, 4v3, okay, we get this, go, fight, right? We got our trigger, we know it's 4v3, we fight. So it's like, in your case here, I would have just ulted right away. When I see Vladimir, I would just look for an ult. We know it's 4v3, we go, right? Eventually ult though, so it's fine. Eventually joined the fight, but you know, it's like... It's like you made the correct decision without really thinking about it. But instead, if we think by counting constantly and seeing Vlad mid, we recognize it's a 4v3, we gain so much more confidence to make the correct play right away because time is money and every second counts in League. Because if you're here like 5 seconds later, it's like enemies are playing without you. I mean, allies are playing without you and you lose this fight completely if you are not here, right? But because you eventually went there, you win this. But without you, they would have lost. Okay. So, they are dead, but Milio and Vayne are alive. Rengar just spawned. Everybody's recalling away from you. You are 1 versus 3. Why do we stay, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I did oversay here. I agree.
Yeah, and you know, I would say in mid-game, late game, you can, like, Ornn is pushing top. So right now, when we look at tempo lines and who's on the front line doing something, actively interacting with the enemies, you are hitting turret, so you are on the front line, you're touching their base, doing something to them. Ornn is hitting their turret, he's on the front line as well, cool. But in this case, you know, usually would be like, sure, if they kill mid, we get top turret. Or if they go top, we get mid turret. But in this case, it's like, Ornn is like legit, it's outer turret. We don't really apply that to outer turret because, of course, they're going to come to you first. Like, there's no doubt about it. So here we should never stay. And especially because, again, when you're playing against a Rengar, a Twitch, an Evelynn, or something like that, Kha'Zix, who knows what action,
Yeah, action is annoying.
We can't do what they're doing right now, aka sitting mid here, right? We have to go under our turret like this. This is good discipline. And the recall is weird too, right?
Yeah, I had the wave. Maybe I had to farm the wave, then recall.
Yeah, let's look at the map right in this position, right? And think what the enemies want to do. Right?
I don't know if they have vision on Viego.
Viego's is going to go to the wave or whatever. What the hell is Viego doing? It's like the moment they spot Viego, they're going to jump on him. And it's like you're under turret, there's a wave as well. Like there's no reason for you to lose this wave. There's no objective up. Right? So here, like I see no reason why you shouldn't stay for this wave. And yeah, they're flocking over Viego at the moment. Including Vayne, she's gonna be there too. Oh well, we lost a wave, it's fine, happens, but I mean, we don't even need to really apply like good game knowledge to know that, you know, in the future, like this is just gonna be obvious to you that, hey, there's a wave under our turret, no objectives up, nothing really happening on the map. Even if Viego gets like attacked, it's not like we can go help, I'll just stay for the wave, go back then, whatever, right?
Okay.
Okay. So now, good. Let's talk about tempo a bit here. Where do you think who do you think is on the front line right now from your team?
Yeah, what was the question?
Like, who do you think is on the front tempo line from your team?
The front line of my team is Orn.
No, not front line. Who is on the front tempo line? aka who is actively engaging with enemies? Who is actually like playing the game right now?
It's maybe Ahri, because she's pushing.
It's Ahri, but how about you and Thresh? Aren't you like in the enemy's face?
Yeah, we're just defending.
Yeah, you're defending, but you are actively like kind of interacting and engaging with enemies, right?
Yeah.
And what about Orn?
Orn is playing passive, farming.
Yeah, he's farming, he's not interacting with enemies. The turret is way too far. He's not fighting a champion, which means he's AFK right now. He's not really contributing to the game, to the current fight. And Viego, like, he's in base, like, whatever, of course. Mm-hmm. And what about the enemies then?
We have Vayne and Rengar mid, Vladimir bots.
Okay, and are they on the front line engaging? In combat, active combat?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we already know it's 3 versus 3, right? On the front tempo. But there's 2 other enemies, right? And what do you think we should do to 2 enemies we have no vision on? And yeah, what do you think we should do them? How should we consider them? Like in perfect tempo or off tempo?
Perfect tempo, like we consider them as if they were close to us.
Exactly like laning phase, right? Yeah, like they're in the closest brush to us. Like they're in this brush right here in the river, because we have no vision there. They're right there. That's how we play. So it means right now we are how many allies against how many enemies right now?
It's like a 2 versus 4.
That's right, mid lane, but yeah, that's mid lane. But what about overall on the team, on the tempo?
Like 4, since the Viego is in base.
5. No, not 5. 5. Not 5. 3. Right?
Okay,
3. We said like Viego is in base, not doing anything. Orn stop farming away from any turret, away from any champions, not doing anything. So right now, the game overall, not the fight, not nothing. The game is 3 versus 5 right now, right? And we should play accordingly. That's how, like, I want you to start thinking about League. That's how I see League in mid-game. We just count how many enemies are actively fighting and how many allies are actively fighting, right?
Okay.
And when there's an enemy unknown, who knows where, we automatically assign them as
in the bush,
in the closest brush to us, right?
Okay.
And that's how we like never ever take bad fights, because again, League is about making less mistakes than the enemies. And if there is an unknown in our equation, we don't go crazy. We wait, we chill, we wait for that moment where, hey, we're actually 4v3, like the Vladimir showing mid in that fight, right? That's what we're waiting for, to act and to start playing an advantage. Right now we saw Volibear top, and if you see Volibear top, right? Oh no, he's coming towards me now. You ping them back. Good. There you go. Perfect. This is good. See how like shot calling is insanely overpowered? Because you might have just saved your allies with those pings, right?
Yeah, they wanted to fight there. It was a 4 versus 5.
Yeah. And okay, what do you think about the current situation right now? Like, what does this position tell us?
We can't really fight, so we can't really contest the next Drake if Ornn doesn't come.
Okay, that's only referring to like a local. Like locally here, we are kind of 4 versus 5, right? To the enemies, we don't see them, but we can assume they're here because we saw them here previously.
Yes.
And what about as a whole team in tempo lines? Like, how is that situation? How many allies do we have on the front, and how many enemies are on the front right now?
We have 3 allies on the front. Ahri is like too far to the fight from the fight, and Ornn is top lane.
Not quite.
Not quite.
I would say it's 5 versus 5 still, because you are here ready. You are in their face. Look, how are you not here? Ahri is legit like 5 seconds away, and if she needs to, she can ult, right? Yeah. And Ornn is actually pretty much in their turret now, right? So he's actually contributing. He's doing something. He's hitting a turret. That means he's contributing. So in this situation, right, we just try to, even though Ornn is not right here with us, he's pulling aggro. He's doing something, and doing something is making enemies have to choose. Remember early game when I gave you those examples? This is exactly that example of, look, if Ornn is here, this is a 5v5. But if Ornn is top, enemies could either fight on Drake, 5 versus 4, and win, and lose turret. Or they could send Volibear, and maybe he loses 1v1, maybe he doesn't, it's an unknown. And they could lose the 4v4 as well, right? And that's exactly what's happening right here. And this is why when we're playing together and we don't look at fights locally and we look at the game as a whole, with those tempo lines I'm talking about, right now we are all playing together, and even better, can you recognize what Volibear is about to do right now?
I thought you were gonna try to dive me at first. So that's why I was kind of hugging the tower.
Yeah, this was fine. Because locally you were alone, that was fine.
Yeah.
And now what do you think he's going to do? Like, you just saw him kind of get away.
I feel like he was kind of lost too. He doesn't know if he should engage or he should go defend the tower.
Yeah, it's
or like maybe he's just waiting for me to step up.
Yeah, but it's like he has to make a choice, right?
Yeah.
And right now I would say that looking at Volibear, right? Right now, Volibear is here in the river, right? So when we look at tempo lines right now, how do you think the lines look? Who is fighting on your front line and who is fighting on the enemy front line? How many enemies and how many allies right now?
It's set up 4 versus 5.
You still think it's 4 versus 5 for you?
Like no, the Volibear is pretty far. 4 versus 4.
Okay, so 4 enemies because Volibear is nowhere, right? But why 4 allies and not 5?
Because the Ornn is not with us, but still he's hitting the tower.
He's hitting the tower. He's actively fighting, right? So right now you are here with enemies, with allies. You know there's a fight about to happen here. You are here. Ahri is there. Thresh is there. Viego is there. You are all on the front line, and Ornn is hitting the turret. He's on the front line doing something.
Okay.
And you have 4 unseen enemies that you kind of know are both sides right now. So they are kind of here about to fight. And now the Volibear is AFK. right?
Yeah.
Volibear right
so
now
much
is
massive.
doing completely nothing, which means you are 5 versus 4. And what does a 5 versus 4 mean for you?
If we are winning,
You are winning. You go fight. You go crazy. You play the game. You look for a fight, right? Right now, I would just walk around here next to my trash and just look for an ultimate. The moment I see an enemy, I'm pressing my R button, right? And your allies are coming close. I'm gonna try to engage with my ult. Vol is doing nothing on right now. But yeah, like this is how we should think about the game, right? And this tempo, like 4v4, 4v5, 3v5, whatever, it's constantly changing every like 5 seconds, right? Because previously it was like, oh, Ornn is nowhere, Viego's, this is like 3v5 right now. Then it was like 3v5. Then it was like, oh, or like now the Volibear is not doing anything. It's constantly changing, right? And this is how we need to think and actively monitor these kind of situations, because earlier in the game, like when we were trying to fight for that record or whatever happened, and we thought it's a 4v4, Vlad showed himself mid, so it suddenly turned into 4v3. And that's the trigger we need to engage. And right now here, you should actively be looking for a fight, but you're not, right? And this is the mistake you're making here. And it's super sad and hard to see. But once you start to play this habit, you're gonna be like, oh wait, I'm gonna ult him, and my team is here. If they engage on me, my team is here to kill all of them, right?
Okay.
That's how we need to think. And, you know, TP for Drake. I mean, sure, if he needs to, right?
Yeah, I was like, asking if they're gonna come, but...
It's like, with split pushers, it's like... if they're hitting a turret, they don't have to TP. That's also what you need to keep in mind.
Okay.
Because they're playing with you again. But most of them will just push and just TP for sure, yeah. Okay, we get this wave because we have Thresh guarding us. Okay, we go next to Drake. We go next to Drake, hopefully. We go Drake, there we go. Thresh should be with us. No, it's not.
I don't know what ours is not.
Yeah, we need to go Drake instantly, right? That's what we need to do. And yeah, Vol has TP too, but it's whatever. Okay, we finally go Drake. Good.
Yeah, something weird happened here. I remember the view stopped the H and the Drake. Yeah, I think we're gonna see it.
Okay, look, we have the Ornn TP, right?
Yeah,
let's go.
We
and now we look at the map. How is the situation? We are kind of 5 versus 4 right now, no?
Yeah, exactly.
So right now we are prepared to fight. Like, ping back, because of course we don't know. Here we don't want a 50-50 the Drake, right? So, in this moment, Vayne is in the front here. And
yeah, she's alone.
She's not alone. She's with 3 allies, but it's like you have 5 against 4.
Yeah.
So why are we not ulting, right? Why are we not engaging? You see?
I think I was keeping my ulti for Rengar engage.
But it's
something like that.
Why would you do that? It's like if Rengar kills you and you kill the Vayne,
yeah,
it's still a 4 versus 3 after that. It's worth, right? It's good.
Okay.
And you have exhaust and flash for Rengar. You see what I mean? So you're lucky, like on ADC usually it's way harder to engage, but on Ashe you actually have tools to actively engage when this happens. And even though Rengar just went close to you again, because we did not think about this tempo concept, we don't really think about it being a 5 versus 4. Like Rengar is kissing us almost.
Yeah.
And we don't ult him. Like what? Right?
Yeah.
You see what's happening right now? We are not if you want to win bot, and this is what a lot of people tell me, like they don't know how to transition their lead into mid-late game. And once you start thinking about the game like this, you see how actually easy it is to do it, right? It's not that hard. You just count. Like everybody knows how to count to 5, unless you're a Jhin player, of course. Right?
Yeah.
I hope you agree that it's not actually hard, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And you know, when we watch a replay, right, it's easy to say, of course.
Yeah, it's easy to say.
When we play a game, it's way harder. And especially for you when you're going to try to apply these concepts, don't be discouraged if you don't do the correct plays right away. It takes practice, but again, they're going to become good habits, and habits are being done without you actively thinking about it. You're just going to look at the map and, oh, wait, this is 5v4, we win, we go, right? Simple.
Okay.
And, you know, keeping that mental note about the numbers, like that's also going to help you, like, do this thing faster, because you don't have to count everything from the beginning because you already had a mental note of what happened before, right? But yeah, enemies are legit running it down here, right? Like, what is Vayne doing? She's
Yeah, the Vayne.
Again, no enemies know that they're taking a 4v5. They have no idea. And in their mind here, all the enemies are probably flaming the
Vayne.
The Volibear. The Vayne and the Volibear didn't TP or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, if you look at things from like their side, their point of view, it's like, well, they got a turret, right? You lost a turret, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, if a local fight is, you're outnumbering enemies in a local fight like this, it's like, the sooner you engage, the sooner you recognize that you're winning it, the sooner you can win the fight, get Drake, whatever, and defend, or maybe just go Baron, right? Because if you engaged right away, there's no doubt in my mind that you would have gotten Baron here. This is free Baron, right? If you just pressed your ulti early, on either Vayne or Rengar, doesn't matter. If you pressed one button and you recognize the situation, here you would have had Baron. But right now, I don't think you get Baron. You're just afraid, you have no idea you can do it, right?
Yeah.
Unless Rengar hints, because why not? Tell me you flash here. You don't? Why?
No.
No. But not W, you're 3v2 still. Because, you know, Vayne dead, Rengar dead, volley top, this is 3v2 still. Big flash, we go, right? Okay, you see, like, again, like, you're gonna get used to these concepts, and it's gonna become second nature for you to do this kind of stuff, right? And if you don't do the things you're supposed to, like you don't do them as soon as possible. Like here, you were 2v2 against them, but Vlad used everything. Of course, you kill him here, especially if he got hooked. This is just whatever. But yeah, there you might have certain spots, positions where you act too late, and because it's too late, now enemies have the advantage when you actually had it 10 seconds earlier, right?
Okay.
And this is a perfect example, actually. I was about to say, I skipped one too much and I saw Rengar. I was about to say, man, like here, okay, you look bot, there's a Vayne, an Ahri, okay. Ornn is not really anywhere yet, Viego's nowhere yet. You are here with Thresh, and there's like a Milio, a Rengar, and their Volibear somewhere.
And I think I just ping it that the Rengar is missing or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah,
right now you should recognize automatically it's 2 versus 3 right here locally, right? And 3 versus 4 globally on like tempo. So you know, wait, danger, right?
Okay.
That's how you should just automatically think. And maybe you outplayed, but still, even if you outplayed this, right?
No.
It's not the correct play. Look, exactly what I told you, right? It's exactly what I told you, right? And it's crazy. It's like, again, people call me fortune teller, but it's not that difficult to recognize these kind of situations, right? And I don't think mechanics can carry through everything, unfortunately. Yeah, this is why I think some players reach master and they don't know fundamentals like the macro concepts or whatever, right? It's because they rely on mechanics for everything, and there's only so much you can do with mechanics, right?
Okay.
And here, I think you... What do you zoom in here?
I was watching the damage, but there was not much damage on the tower.
Oh well.
Well, it's an Ornn.
Okay. Let's see what else happens. I hope you understood the tone from before the session. Hope I opened your eyes so far. But there's probably more mistakes still being made in this game by you. So, for example, how did Viego die here by the way? Oh, he's playing alone.
Random stuff.
Yeah, random stuff. Another tip I have to tell you about tempo is you know, when you're on the front tempo and your allies are not and you're outnumbered, you chill, you play safe, right? But it's the opposite when when your allies are on the tempo and you're not. You want to get on tempo as soon as possible, because for you to play the game, you need to be on tempo. If you're not on tempo, you're actually not doing anything to win the game actively. So, okay, right now, we see 4 enemies Baron, we see Or fighting the Volibear bot, and your Vego is dead. What does it mean?
Not contest on the barn.
Yeah, because even if you go, you're 3v4 locally and like 4v5 globally, right? It's still bad numbers. So we look for something else. And it's quite easy to tell what that something else is here.
We just leave the barn, I think.
Okay, you leave the Baron, but you know, it's like if
I
the
push
enemies are
wave mid.
you push me, there you go, perfect, right? Because there's no danger, there's no threat. Like
That's not what's gonna happen.
Oh, you actually don't push mid here? I actually thought you'd push mid here out of instinct. You don't do that?
Oh.
Like, about contesting Barons outnumbered, right? It's like, sometimes it's good to do so, but it's like those situations where it's good to do so, it's the exceptions, not the rule. And if you play by the book, if you play proper macro, again, you're going to have a few situations that are exceptions, and if you lose because of those like exceptions, it's fine. You win a lot more games because you just play consistently by the rules, right? So, like, I would say, for your sake, so it's easier on you, when there's a 3v4 at Baron, don't contest ever, push mid. It's just how it is.
Oh.
Like, you know, it's guaranteed value if you push mid and maybe get a turret, but if you go on Baron, it's like, yeah, you could recognize that, hey, maybe we are fed, we are strong, we could fight. But usually, having lower numbers than the enemies results in a loss. That's just how it is. No, 3 versus 4, there you go. You recognize it's 3 versus 4, right? But it's like, if you know it's a 3 versus 4 and you ping your teammates not to go, why do you go, right?
Because I thought maybe we could do something, and they are already there.
Yeah, and you see, like, my reasoning of maybe sometimes, yeah, you can do something, right? Maybe sometimes. But it's like, how do you even begin to think or to know if you can fight or not? It's like, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. And again, most of the times in a 3v4 you don't win. So automatically you should default to something you know, aka pushing mid, you know it's good. And I think you just lose the fight here, right? Because even if you go, you're still afraid to engage. Actually win.
Somehow.
Oh, they still got Baron though. But yeah, they got Baron, right? So right now, they got Baron, and you got 2 kills, right? But imagine we didn't go Baron, and we just pushed mid. Like, instead of getting 2 kills, we got 1 inhibitor. Like, isn't that kind of better, right?
Yes, it's better,
yeah. You see what I mean? It's like, even if you maybe win the fight, it's like maybe you don't have a jungler. Or another thing, like when it's 3v4 in an objective, if you don't have a jungler, it's even harder to win that Baron, right? So, yeah, it's like, cool, you got, the enemies got Baron, still you got 2 kills, but hey, what about us getting a mid turret? An inhibitor, like that would have been huge. You would have secured your next Drake and everything, right? But yeah, again, it's solo queue. Like, enemies didn't play that properly. It happens, right? Here you get a free kill. Cool, nice. Small note to take in these situations, like when you go side and you get a kill like this, right?
Yeah.
You need to look at mid-wave, because I didn't mention this to you yet, but playing ADC is like a turn-based game in a way, because you get the mid-wave, you do something else, you get mid-wave, do something else. Here you got the mid-wave, right? And now you're going to do something else, aka punishing the volley, kill him, okay? You do this, your turn is over, and you need to go back to get the mid-wave. That's your job right now, right? That's how you should move in mid game.
Okay.
Those mid waves are yours, and instead you took Ornn's wave, and the mid wave is wasted. But imagine we go mid instantly, Ornn gets these minions, you get the mid minions. Wait, our team overall has more gold. And this is why I say play with tempo, play with your teammates, play as a team. If we went mid here, we would have played it as a team and had more gold as a team, because unfortunately it's not like season 4 anymore. You can't carry alone. You just cannot carry alone. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like you put 20-0 Yasuo with full build against a team with 3 items, and of course he loses, right? That's just how it is. So yeah, we lost the mid wave. We lost the turret actually. If you went mid, you wouldn't have lost the turret either, right?
Yeah.
Because only Vlad was there at the time. Yeah, I hope you see like
Yeah,
another mental note to like just play around those mid waves. Those are yours, and like don't recall if there's a mid wave, because you made that mistake earlier as well. Like if there was a mid wave coming into you and you recalled, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of mid waves again. Okay, Drake is 40 seconds. What do you think you should do before that, Drake?
Pushing the wave?
Yeah, next wave you should be pushing it. Like right now in your mind you would be like, okay, wait. Volley dead, okay, it means like 4 enemies are here. I'm here with Thresh only. We wait. It's 2 versus 4 right now. Our goal right now is to wait Ahri, Viego, and Ornn. We need to wait for them to be here. Then we can start acting. Until then we wait. And another mental note is like, okay, there's going to be another mid wave before the Drake spawns. So we need to be ready on position to just push mid in first, because they're so powerful. And here it looks like you do it, which is nice. You go mid. You don't go mid.
I didn't know how the Vlad spawned there.
I mean, yeah, also I need to mention about, like, again, being assertive and knowing what you need to do. Like, here, I would have, like, stayed next to your Thresh, right? And just ping the mid wave to push mid wave to help you mid lane. Like, against Rengar. And you had your, you didn't know where Vladimir is, right? It's good to be careful. You're an ADC, you get one shot. But that's why we need to be assertive and make our support hover us properly, right? So it's like we want to get the mid wave, but sometimes they have Rengar Twitch, we can't do it alone. And how do we not see Vladimir here, I want to mention? How do the minions not see Vladimir? Like, what's happening here? League of Legends.
I don't know.
Look, you see everything, right? You see everything? Look, your minions are here, minions are there, but Vlad just appears. Like, what?
Yeah, I know. It
took you by surprise. It's so unlucky, honestly. This is unlucky. But yeah, another thing about midwave, like if your team doesn't hover you, right, you don't get the midwave. That's also another rule. Like if they have Rengar, you don't get the midwave. And you should definitely stay with your team here, kite up, not right, because you isolate yourself, right? Against assassins, your teammates are the best defense, because if the assassin kills you, at least your teammates kill the assassin, which is exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
You actually don't even die, because the Radiant Virtue is a fun item. I think that's what saved you or whatever. Yep, that's what saved you. Okay. And another thing, like we were talking about midwave and so on and so on, like many concepts that I'm going to teach you today, right? But it's like you only learn one at a time. And once they all together become habits, you're gonna just know by default what to do. And here, for example, I think we saw Volibear push that top, I think. Like in my mind, we know, oh wait, Volley is top, Ahri is bot. Okay, if Ahri comes, it's a 5v4. This is super winnable, right? And we are ahead as a team. We just stay next to our teammates and we win this. Okay, we win. Volley top, Milio is here. Ala is recalling, but you and Milio and Ahri are here, so you win this. Good. Okay. Pause right here. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, look. Volley top, on top. You and Ahri here, Rengar alive. Okay, Rengar, well, if he one-shoots you Ahri kills him. If he one-shoots Ahri, you kill him. That's still fine. Good. everybody else respawns. Their mid, their main, we push. I mean, we go back because now it's bad. We try to play with teammates and back off. It's good. We do this. Perfect. Okay, we got a kill. And now again, we start thinking, okay, what do we know? We see two people bot, one mid.
Oh, he's dead.
Okay. Okay, we need to talk again about mid waves, right?
Okay.
So here.
I had to go mid directly, I think.
Ah, you go mid directly here, right?
Okay, I see it.
Because what's really gonna stop you? Vlad is mid, there's two players bot, and Milio is alive. And it's like, Milio is not gonna kill you in the jungle, you can go. Right, it should catch mid wave in this position. Even though you can buy an item, it's like there's no objectives. There's no objectives up, so it's like what's keeping you from getting the wave then recalling? It's like you need to wait for Ari to respawn anyway, right? And so you lost a wave here. You see how many waves we lost this game, kind of for no reason.
Yes, I see it.
And now we need to think about, look, this mid wave, right? But they have Rengar. We don't wanna be too crazy, although I think Rengar ulted bot, right? But let's assume he didn't. This would be a mistake here, right? Because he could one-shot you.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful in these situations. And even if Rengar like does have ult here, your allies are doing nothing. Ari is dead, and you saw Miro in the top jungle, but you don't know where 3 other enemies are. So when getting these kind of mid waves, you really need to know what you're doing. Like, if anything, you play Ashe, you have a blue ward here. I think you just placed it. I think you did, yeah. And right now, if you use your hawkshot towards enemy raptors, this is safe. Perfect, right? You just need to watch out for that when you get mid waves. Assume like enemies could be again close to you, and if you play Ashe, even better, you have check with hawkshot if you are taking mid wave alone. Because here, for example, right? Look, you don't get the mid wave, right? That's good, because how the hell do you go there, right? But this time it's obvious because they're right there. But if they're in like over the wall, it's really hard to tell. And always remember,
I try to not push the wave very fast so I can keep the next one close.
Yeah, this is good. This is a really good thing. I sometimes do it as well when they have Twitch Rengar. Yeah, this is correct.
Yeah.
It's like if you get the wave here, or if you get the wave further in, what's the difference? You still get the wave, right? And there's no objectives. You are on the front line, kinda, right now, because nobody else is doing anything on the map. If anything, they're going to contest this. So it's like, yeah, we don't do anything. We wait. This is fine. This is good thinking from you. This is great.
Okay.
It's something really good you're doing here. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Craziness.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
I should win for sure, though, right? Yeah. Okay, let's break it down a little bit.
Okay.
Right now, you see Ornn volley top, right? You see all your allies being in position, all them is being here. So you know here it's a 4v4 with like 1v on top. So it's like even, right? You are kind of playing safe. Oh, Ari killed someone. Wait, it's 4 versus 3. Ult, go. Right?
No. Maybe I had to ult like
right now.
Some seconds before.
Right now. Would have been so good. Viego would have stunned Vayne or Vladimir right now. Thresh would have hooked after that. You get 1 kill for sure, right?
Yeah.
And this is why, again, taking mental notes of enemy position is so important. And it's like, even if you didn't take mental notes or whatever, you still went in the fight, you still fought, but because, again, right now it's a 4v3, and it doesn't matter if you die. It's like you're fighting, and you don't need to play the fight perfectly to win just because you have the higher number advantage, right? That's all there is to it. And besides that, you're ahead as a team, so of course, right?
Yeah.
And another like interesting concept, interesting thing, when you're ahead, you should be more willing to take even fights. And when you're behind, you should not really take even fights if there's a better option, right? Like if you wanna fight Baron 4v4 or whatever, it's like you should look for that going mid lane more often when you're losing than when you're winning. Because if you're winning, you know you win the 4v4 more often.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else happens. We were talking 1 hour and 30 minutes. Do you want to play a live game as well?
I don't think we will have enough time. We can just like break down the rest of the game.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because right now I think there's something super interesting about to happen here. And this is actually perfect showcase of why earlier on the previous Baron, you going mid would have been huge. And can say why like that inhibitor is so important to get.
Okay. Because we will have the lead Y earlier in the game. So we can take more objectives, I guess.
But how does the inhibitor allow you to take the objectives? How exactly does it work?
They have to choose to fight or to defend their base.
Exactly. There you go. And I know even better, there was a fight before this, and TP was used by Volibear, and they don't have another TP, right?
Yeah.
Which means if you see somebody in their base defending, boom, you ult, you go crazy, you right click, you go front line, it doesn't matter, you go crazy, right? Because you win automatically.
Okay.
And that's what we need to constantly do in a game. Oh, Volibear is there, good, we go Baron. If they contest this, we instantly ult and fight them. We just don't even hesitate. Rengar is frontlining. Oh my ult, go! Or not. Like, okay, sure, we could say, okay, we finish Baron, but now we look to ult. We don't ult yet. But we know it's 5 versus 4. Why do we not ult, right?
Yeah.
You see?
Okay.
Again, like, how many times did you make this mistake this game? I lost
5,
count.
6, 7, 12.
And it's one concept. You fix that concept, and you just win, like, 6 games more out of 100. Isn't that huge? It's crazy, right? It's huge how much you can improve at the game. And this is why I always say, like, in my opinion, anybody can get master, no problem, without having good mechanics, if they just learn some basic knowledge like this. Although the game itself never teaches you these concepts, right? And that's why I guess it's not considered basic knowledge, but I believe this knowledge should be accessible to everyone, right? It's not rocket science. But nobody really, I don't see anybody really teaching you about this kind of stuff, and I feel like it's so important to break it down step by step, right?
Yeah, it's not easy to break a game like step by step.
Like what helps me learn is I think it's called divide et impera, aka you just break a problem into small pieces and you solve each piece individually, because it's way easier for yourself to do that. And this is how I like make this problem, the League of Legends game. I break it down in small concepts like getting the mid game, mid wave. If you wanna push further than the middle of the lane, you need to ward, and so on. And like playing with teammates, counting non-stop. Those are like small little problems I solve constantly, separately. And it makes the game itself really easy like that, instead of thinking about, oh my god, look at the map, what's happening, who knows what, right? We just have a plan we constantly do, and it's way easier on us if you do that. Less draining. And right now here we are just taking a fight. We rely on team fighting knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we lose, because any monkey can team fight, and if there's an even fight, things could go wrong, right? And this is why previously I said if you're ahead, you should be more willing to take 5v5 than when you're behind, because chances are you're gonna win it. But again, it's only chances, right? So let's break down what happened right here, right? First of all, this Drake is... What do you think about this Drake right now, right?
is very important because it's the soul.
Yeah,
Right?
and if it's so important, do you think it's good to 50-50 it?
No.
No. And 50-50 means, you know, it's like your jungler is here, the enemy jungler is here. They both have smite.
Okay.
Whoever wins, wins. It's a 50-50. It is what it is. You can't really do anything as an ADC,
But
right?
how can we avoid the 50-50?
Yeah, how can we avoid the 50-50? That's what we need to know. That's what we need to do, right?
Okay.
And for that, like, there's a few options. Like, we push another lane. We try to set up, ambush or anything, right? We need to be creative and do something. And in this case, we should rely on being assertive, right? We should be like, okay, we recognize this position. Everybody from our team is on Drake. Everybody from any team is on Drake. Even though we have an inhibitor, we have no super minions yet pushing, so that's not even a threat. So, okay, we need to do something to prevent 50-50 on this important soul. So we need to rely on being assertive here. What about we type in chat, let's not 50-50. Let's wait for midwave to push first. And we stall Drake. You tell that to your teammates. After you make so many good calls, you tell that to your teammates. Guess what? They're going to listen. Right?
Yeah.
Because right now, what you should be doing is pinging off Drake and just maybe trying to explain your teammates what to do, or like pinging to fight, or honestly, in this case, typing is actually really good because you just tell your teammates, hey, we don't have 50-50, you actually need to play with the inhibitor, right? You know, or like spam pinging, pushing the midwave. You figure it out what you want to do, but you need to be assertive and tell your teammates, hey, I recognize this is not good. This is a coin flip, and instead of doing a coin flip, we could just have patience and win the game guaranteed. But instead, we are relying on a coin flip to win a game. Why are we so impatient, right?
Okay.
And this is how, like, good players, when they go in lower divisions, they can carry the games because they don't carry alone. They just provide the knowledge and information to their teammates to actually carry from that point on.
Okay.
And I mean, if you can prevent it, right, it's like, cool, we rely on team fighting, you know, it's what it is. And this team fight, I don't even know if you could have done something better realistically, right?
I think I had to use my ult earlier.
Well, let's take it slower. It's like, I don't think this is so important because, again, we just want in the first place to prevent these kind of situations, right? Because imagine we waited 20 seconds more. Look, the wave is already mid pushing, right? What you could have done is ult the Vladimir right away, right? So your team finishes off and Viego gets reset. And that might have made the difference, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Because now instead he's allowed to W flash, you know. So if anything, in these kind of close fights, especially with Ashe, or I don't know, you play Jinx, for example. If your ally lands a CC, use Chompers to follow up, right? Like, try to be as useful as possible and play with your teammates as much as possible. But yeah, again, these things, these small things, mechanics, team fights, they're important, but you kind of learn them as you play. You know, you should. I think you have bigger fish to fry than just focus on team fights, because this was not horrible, right? Yeah, we could have just thought about hitting the Vlad with ult so Veigar gets reset, but it's like every game is different. It's hard to know every champion instantly and think about all that stuff, so we don't care about this that much. It's fine.
Okay.
So don't feel bad if you lose a 5v5, unless, of course, it's a big blunder. Because again, UB players get challenger and they don't have to team fight, right? So you can win without team fighting too. Okay, let's see what else here.
Oh yeah.
Well, here it's like,
I was playing in the archer back because no vision and she's kind of too deep.
yeah, it's fine. It's not much to do. Recalling, I guess it's fine. You could argue that maybe we should stay mid and push, but at the same time, if you do that, we are alone and so on, right? But this is maybe more of an experiment for you.
I was spamming pink.
Yeah, like an experiment to, instead of backing off from these situations, right? Yes, you can buy shield bow, right? What's that gonna provide you? Like a 400 health shield, whatever. Is getting an item more important than winning a fight, especially this late in the game? Probably not, because if you win a fight, it's like you end the game or the enemy's in the game.
Yeah.
So here, look, we have 2 hawk shots, right? How about we use 1 hawk shot, or maybe 2 hawk shots, to see exactly how many enemies are here, right? And as well, we also see that, hey, our Ornn is pushing right now, right? He could apply pressure, which is huge. So why, instead of recalling here, we play with our teammates' tempo, right? And here I would say you have a couple options, right? If you, again, we use hawkshots to see where enemies are. If everybody's like trying to collapse on the Ahri, let's say use hawkshot, we see 5 enemies where Milio are, and they are all running straight towards Ahri. What do you think you should do?
We'll leave the Ahri to die, I think, because we were not going to win the team fight anyways.
Yeah.
If they are 5.
Yeah, and what, besides that, what should you be doing then, instead of recalling?
Pushing?
Push mid, right? You see all the enemies, they are all on Ahri. Mid is free to be pushed. There's no pressure, right?
Okay.
That's one option, you know? Another option, you try to scout an enemies again. Of course, you're Ashe. If you're not Ashe, oh well, we just have a bit more patience here. But another option is to try to delay for mid-wave to push, try to delay for Ornn to push, and we just kind of, again, put the enemies in the position of having to choose between something bad and something worse, right? Okay. And if you recall here, you might say like, well, we recall and there's nothing happening, right? But it's like you're putting yourself on the worst tempo in the game right now. You're in base while everybody else is ahead of you. Well, maybe again, we could have, look, you use hawkshot, you see 4 people mid, you don't see Rengar really, but you can assume he's there now. Don't 3v5 and you go mid, right? But imagine you went mid earlier, right? Yeah. That's an option, right? Imagine you went with your teammates right now, instead of going mid and recalling, and Ornn would be pushing for free, right? But right now, teammates are fighting there, Ornn is pushing, and what are you doing?
AFK.
AFK, you're not doing anything, right? You see?
I remember I did like a huge mistake late game. So yeah, was the mistake, and you probably gonna see the fight after.
Okay. So again, this is why playing with teammates tempo is so important, because you waste 30 seconds for like nothing, right? You buy shield bow, okay, great, but that shield bow, it's like, it's not gonna make a difference when you are so late in the fight anyway, right?
Yeah.
So let's see, you probably... Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't see the TP when I was playing.
Yeah, but I want to mention that, like, even if Ornn is pushing, right? You should put yourself in the game somehow, pushing mid, joining teammates, because again, teleport exists.
Okay.
So if you decide to go with your teammates and fight 4v5 while Ornn is pushing in the game, whatever, it's like, it's better than being AFK. Because if you don't join this, you don't do anything, your teammates are gonna lose anyway, right? You know? Yeah. It's not like you can defend 1v5. So you can go assuming, okay, Ornn is either gonna push, in which case we get stuff, even if we die, or he's gonna TP, in which case we are 5v5, and that's much better than teammates fighting 4v5.
Yeah.
Another option, you go mid right away, or TPs. You're taking 4v5, but you are pushing, pressuring to end the game. If you pressure to end the game, enemies then have to recall they cannot end the game themselves, even if allies lose. Okay. Another option, you push mid, Ornn doesn't TP, he pushes as well. enemies might not even take that fight, or a couple of them might recall, your teammates might win the 3v3 then, or who knows. But anything is better than not joining. And this is the biggest mistake I would say players make in League. They don't play with teammates. They are like, okay, my teammates just took a horrible fight and I couldn't do anything here. I couldn't have prevented this. My teammates lost me the game, right? That's what you would be tempted to say. But in reality, I already gave you like so many good options where you can actually do something, right? And prevent the enemies from ending the game. Because again, your goal is to win the game, not to win a team fight, you know?
Okay.
That's the thing. And I hope you see clearly right now that if you went mid right away, you would legit be at their inhibitor, Nexus turrets.
In their base, yeah.
And they see you in their base, some of them have to recall, they are all over the place, they panic, and suddenly your team wins the fight now.
Yeah, panic attack.
And it's like, all you had to do is right-click mid. It's so simple, right?
Oh.
And because this is solo queue, right? Enemies lost for 5 versus 4 anyway somehow, right? I have no idea how. You're ahead, sure, okay. But if the game were even, enemies could have ended the game just now, right?
Okay.
So even though here you lost, it's like, well, you could have played so much better, right? Like you barely did anything here anyway.
That's the point of breaking the game with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I hope you realize it's so like the game is way different than you think, right? Right now.
Yeah.
It's way different. It's actually a strategy game, a team game, not all my teammates are taking fights for no reason. Because again, yeah, like what did we do here? We recalled for an item, we walked 30 seconds here, we walked 10 more seconds here. I think we missed our ulti. Did you miss your ult? Let's see. Mr. Ultimate, okay. We came in this fight when, well, let's see, do we even help them? W1s, basic attack that guy. It's like,
Nothing much.
They could have kind of won without you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if they win without you, and you are mid, the game would be over in like 10 seconds. But instead, it's like, if the death timers were shorter right now, you would not be able to end the game, right? You see? Like imagine you lingered around for 10 more seconds, and that would have made the difference between ending the game right now and enemies acing you right now and going into your base to end the game, right? So I hope you just learn to play with teammates properly, because it's so OP. And this is so close. Look, if you would have been here like 3 seconds later, boom, game over, right? But in reality, you could have been here 40 seconds sooner. Right?
I see it now.
A really good game to break down, honestly. Like even though you win, you see there's
Yeah,
so
but
many
even if I win, I wasn't that much of useful in the game.
Yeah, but I hope you see why, and I hope you see like how much impact you can realistically have in a game, and how much there is to learn still. It's crazy when you think about this. There's so many things you can do that you never realized before. And again, this is how I got unstuck from Diamond. I was stuck Diamond for a season, and boom, I learned this kind of stuff. Oh wait, Challenger wasn't that hard after all, right? But for you, like, you don't need to think about Challenger or whatever. Right now, like, this season get Diamond. I don't see why not. If you don't, oh well, there's holidays, whatever, you don't play as much, understandable, whatever. I don't see why you wouldn't get Diamond right now. Honestly, you can do it. I believe in you. If you don't, whatever, it's fine. We have time to learn. We don't learn overnight, right? It's fine. And I believe, honestly, that you can get Master next season. No problem, in my opinion. If you just learn this kind of stuff. Because your mechanics are fine. You are chill, you don't flame. You are willing to learn. That's the most important part, right? So you should just be positive, stay happy, and you're gonna climb like crazy before you know it. If you have any questions,
maybe about the items. Did I itemize as well on the game? Or maybe I had better options.
First of all, Items, yeah, they are important, right? Especially if they have tanks, you need to buy an LDR, maybe, right? They have Vladimir, you might need heat reduction, right? But it's like items matter way less than people think. Because even if you had wrong items here, right? You would still be here. Like if you just sell every item right now, you buy a Rabadon and Moby Boots and you run it down mid, you win the game, right? It's like sometimes items don't even matter at all.
Okay, I see.
And like itemizing here, I mean, cool, sure, it's fine, right? Why not? Like, you go Kraken like Trinity, that's what I do on pretty much every game. It's default. Next season might be different with a Rage Blade and whatnot. We'll see, whatever.
Oh yeah, Infinity H2 maybe, I guess.
And Infinity H2, because Infinity is so nice on Ash. Could they have built something different? Well, instead of shield bow, oh, you got Borg, never mind. Actually, I don't think they have that much armor because Volley and Vladimir don't have much armor, right? So Borg was the correct
launch AP.
Yeah, that was correct. And another thing you could just think about is heat reduction because they have Milio. Vayne probably has Borg. They have Vladimir, which heals a ton. So if anything, I would buy my 3D Force, go Executioner, finish Borg. And after finishing Borg, you either go Mortar Reminder or you just buy a Guardian Angel, right? And Shield Bow, I think, is not that great of an item, especially in these kind of situations where they have Vlad that dives you, they have Void that dives you, they have Rengar that one-shots you, right? It's like J is more valuable because you die next to your teammates, you revive next to your teammates, right? Because assassins and people like Volibear, whatever, if you stay next to your teammates and they dive you, you are going to be next to teammates, so allies kill the enemies. And if they don't kill the enemies, well, at least you are going to respawn next to your allies, right? Instead of shield bow giving you 400 HP shield that you get a one-shot enemy, right?
Okay, I see.
And on top of that, maybe the armor from J would have been helpful as well against Rengar, right? And the stopwatch is overpowered. Next season they remove stopwatch, so abuse it while you can, right? In this kind of games, honestly, like you finish Kraken, Infinity, not Infinity, Triforce, and then you look. Do we need heat reduction? Yes. Did my support buy it? No. Okay, we spent 800 gold to buy heat reduction. Then you look, do they have assassins and ways to one-shot me? No. Cool, we buy whatever else. Yes, well, we buy stopwatch. Stopwatch overpowered, trust me, right? Rengar jumps on you, use stopwatch, and yeah, your teammates kill him after that. Cool. That's perfect. Because nobody checks the tab menu to see if you have a stopwatch.
Yeah,
and after 2 items on Ashe, in my opinion, like the third item has less impact than the first 2, right? That's what I feel like. The damage doesn't change all that much anymore. And yeah, Bork is important, but you know, Ashe's main purpose is to have utility in the game. And that's why she's so good right now in the meta. You just use hawk shots, scout the enemy, you can engage as an ADC, which is massive. And you saw how many useful things you could have done with your ultimate, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I buy Black Cleaver when they have like a ton of armor.
Yeah, there's the Black Cleaver on ADC dispute, kinda. I mean, I don't know why LDR or Mortar Reminder wouldn't be better, right? I don't see why they are not better. Because they give you better stats. They give you crit as well, attack damage, and reduce armor. Like, it's insane, right? I don't see why Black Cleaver is better. You could argue because it has HP and cooldown reduction, but it's like, do you play poke Ashe? No, you play basic attack Ashe right now. You're playing with Kraken. And do you need the HP? Isn't like stopwatch better? Because how much HP does Black Cleaver give you? Like 400, whatever.
Something like that.
It's like if Rengar jumps on you with the ultimate basic attack, right? That, let's say, this 400 damage. That is Black Cleaver HP. But what if instead we buy the stopwatch and we just stopwatch right before the Rengar jumps on us? Well, we prevent that 400 HP. So it's like, did we actually need extra HP? No, stopwatch more broken, right?
Okay.
So this is why, again, stopwatch is overpowered. And in this game, for example, right? I want to show you as well that you recalled for the shield bow, and the shield bow helped you not at all, right?
Not at all. Didn't even use it once.
Yeah, exactly. So especially in the late game, like early game, sure, you buy your first item, huge spike, second item, good spike. Buying shield bow when you have 3 items, it's like, cool.
Nah, okay.
We lose tempo, we don't play with teammates, for what? For a shield that we don't even use, right? So, yeah, again, that's what you need to focus on the most. Plus the other things we talked about. Not that hard if you actually want to. And you look like you want to climb, so you will climb. That's all that matters, right?
Perfect.
Okay. Well,
thank you.
Take care. You're welcome.
Yeah. See you on the stream. Ciao.
Bye-bye.